yogis. We're going to do a 45-minute session aimed at the upper back and arms. You might need a couple props for this one: blocks, blankets, bolsters, pillows, that kind of thing. Always comes in handy when we're practicing Yin Yoga. Not essential, but always nice to have them just in case. So let's start in a comfortable seated position. So whatever you find most comfortable to sit in. You can use props to help you get cozy. Make any movements, get nice and settled in this position. You can close down your eyes or soften your gaze if you like. You want to really find this ease. With each exhale, feel your body relaxing. Can you let go of gripping, of holding, of tightness? Create space to release, to soften. No pulling, no gripping, no holding. Set the intention to release, to be passive, to welcome this softness as we move through our practice. Allowing the awareness to grow just enough so that we can shift into our first position. We're going to take the hands behind, and you can interlace the fingers, or if that doesn't feel comfortable as you nest it over into your waist or over into your low back, you can hold onto the back of the arm, sliding your hand across your back and grabbing a hold of your arm above the elbow. Maybe you hold onto the forearm, whatever works. Alternatively, a strap, something to lengthen the arms might come in handy here. We're going to tip the head so that we're getting a stretch through the neck. And so if it's really uncomfortable, you find there's more tension, more gripping with the holding of the arms or with the head, you can release them instead. Letting your head be really heavy to the opposite side, to which you've got that interlaced hands, or to the side you're holding the arm. And let your head be heavy here. And keep the shoulders soft, keep the neck soft, keep the jaw soft. Can you release gripping, release. welcoming this sense of opening, softness through the face, softness through the shoulders. In our yin practice today, we're looking to keep engagement out of the muscles, keep from activating the muscles. When we find this sensation without gripping, without tensing, the sensation is taken or is being used by the deeper connective tissue, that stress, that pull. It's that deeper connective tissue, that fascia, that makes up this sticky web-like structure that covers the entire body through muscles, making up ligaments and supporting the joints. We're going to release from this position, arms first. Then you can use your hand to lift the head up into a neutral position. If you need a little bit of shifting shoulder roll, you can take that. Before we take shape to the other side. So if you're interlacing, you'll nest on the same side, you're tipping your head. If you're holding onto the upper arm or the elbow, you'll hold onto the opposite arm. Head nice and heavy, shoulder relaxed. We're not bringing that shoulder up to the ear. Soft into the muscles, soft into the face. Welcome back that softness again. And so when we use these stretches to target connective tissues, we get this sense of rehydrating. You get this sense of puffing up. Joints, strengthening, lengthening, thickening those deeper connective tissues. So endeavor to be relaxed. Passive stretching. Keep that muscle engagement out. An indication that you might be coming too deep, you might be pushing past that 7 out of 10. Could be the muscles beginning to engage, your body beginning to grip. You're finding your passive range and spending time there. Head heavy. Keep working with your edge. 7 out of 10. Nothing painful, nothing sharp, broad, dull ache. We have a little over 1 minute left in this position, if you are able to stay. Shifting out of this position slowly. Hand will come to the head to help lift it up back into a neutral position. If there's any movement that feels good, anything that will help you feel a little bit softer, help with that release, find that. We're going to sit on our bottom here. Knees bent. We're going to take the hands behind us. We want to slide back. The hands are going to slide back behind. We're going to hang out in this position. We're looking for length through the arms, maybe a little through the chest here. We're going to spend a couple minutes in this position. You can tuck your chin to your chest. You can take your head back. Whatever it is that feels good. And we don't have to come to our deepest available edge immediately. You might find that after a little while, you're able to slide your hands a little further back. Maybe you can sink in a little deeper. Tummy relaxed, belly relaxed, legs relaxed. Heavy, soft. Free from gripping, free from holding. Endeavoring to be really passive in these positions. Our target area, arms, upper back, chest. Keep that in mind as you work with your edge. We have a little under 1 minute left here, if you're able to stay. Knowing you're never stuck in these positions, if you need to shift, if you need to come out, take a break, you absolutely can. As you feel ready to come out, begin to lift up weight out of the hands. Maybe some movement through the shoulders or flexing through the elbows will feel good here. Keep your movements small, keep them slow, keep them yin-like. Notice how it feels as you come out of these shapes. What temperature do you feel? What kind of energy? feel that almost electric or warm sensation through the body. We're going to come into a thread the needle shape next. So you can come from tabletop or child's pose, it's your choice. Child's pose, you might even want a little pillow underneath your thighs. You can sweep your arm up if you like. We're going to thread one arm through and start wherever you would like. If you need to bring your head onto a pillow or a block so that we create this little galley for the hand, you can. And your supporting hand, it may stay on the ground, it might reach overhead. You might want to take it behind your back and find a half bind here. We're looking for some sensation through the back of the body, the back of the shoulder. Take a bit of time, find that. And then come to stillness. Hold that. Breathe into that. Letting your hips relax if you're in that child's pose, letting your chest soften if you're in the kneeling variation. We have 1 minute left in this position. If you are able to stay. Can you soften any more? Can you relax? Can you let yourself be heavier? What is stopping you here? And slowly let that supporting hand come back towards the mat. Press up. You might want to shift a little in this position. Before we take that shape to the other side, your left and right sides might be a little bit different. So your props, your setup might be a little bit different. You might take the high knee version of this on this side. You might take something that looks a little bit different. Your left and right sides are not the same. Generally, we use them in different ways, so treat each side as a completely new shape. Feeling that stress on the connective tissues. That stress thickening, rehydrating, strengthening that tissue. Relax, soften. Hands, shoulder, hips, belly, let your body completely release. Nothing painful, nothing sharp, broad, dull, ache. And welcoming back a deeper, more aware breath. Your supporting hand will help press you up as you come out of that shape. Again, movement or stillness, you can choose what works for you here. We're going to come into a puppy pose, and there's a couple of variations, again, depending on how you're feeling today. So your normal puppy pose on the knees, letting the chest sink down. If you want something a little softer, you might come to elbows and rest your head. Over time, you might feel yourself softening down onto your chest and resting your head. You might have your arms out long. Alternatively, you might use blocks and come into more of a child's pose, resting your hands on blocks so that you're still getting that chest sinking down towards the ground. Find whichever shape works for you, or depending on what kind of props you have. Find your puppy. Let your chest sink down towards the mat. You can use props underneath your chest or underneath your head if you feel like you need a little more support here. You still want to be able to soften. Let the mat beneath you, let the props support. Invite softness. Invite heaviness. Seven out of 10. Broad, dull ache. Find a position you can hold without gripping, without resisting. And there is a time for that. But now we want to be soft. We want to be passive. Let time and gravity do the work for you. You might notice over time your body opening up. Maybe you feel yourself sinking deeper or changing shape. Let this happen naturally, without forcing, without pressure. Listening to the body. And alternatively, the shape might intensify over time. No, you can shift, you can adjust, you can take a break, you can stop. Listen to your body. We have under 1 minute left here. And slowly we're going to shift out of this position. If you're in a puppy, you might shift your hips back. If you're in that position with the blocks, you can slowly press your hands off the blocks and come into a kneeling position, or lay on your belly for a moment. Again, check in with that heat, that sensation. How does it feel to release after holding? Okay. From here, we're going to cross the legs or come into cow face legs, depending on how open your hips are at the moment or in general. So crossing legs is an option. You could always come to butterfly as well. Know that blocks underneath the knees are okay. If external rotation is really uncomfortable, find a butterfly or half butterfly position. See how you go. If you want to come into that cow face and cross the knees, stacking the knees, you can give that a go. I'm going to set my blocks up in front of me, flip this way. We're going to cross the arms over the top of one another, so we're coming into eagle arms. If this is awful, really uncomfortable, giving yourself a hug is a nice option. Trying to wrap the hands around the shoulder blades. We're going to tip ourselves forward, and you might be able to rest your elbows on your blocks, maybe they're on your knees. And this should feel really nice, particularly after that puppy or puppy variation. And you can pick your height, maybe adding more or less to the blocks or the bolsters, the blankets, whatever it is you're using. You can fold, you can sit up. Make the shape work for you. Settle into a place free from gripping, free from holding. A place where it feels comfortable to be still. A place where it feels comfortable to breathe. Seven out of 10. Broad, dull ache. position. How does your body feel as you've held this position for time? Do you feel you've been able to settle? Are you able to stay soft? And slowly preparing yourself to come out of this shape. Unraveling the arms, unraveling the legs. A little movement might feel good. We'll take it to the other side. So if you've wrapped your legs around, do the other leg on top or cross your legs the other way around. Make sure you're starting from a nice easy place. We're not taking off where we left on the other side. We're wrapping the arms, again opposite on top. Maybe you fold and settle in, breathing. Each exhale helping you to soften, sending your breath to those places where you feel like you're still holding or you feel like you're still gripping. You may have to soften over and over again. Know that that is okay. And just be aware and keep coming back to that softness. Feeling the lungs with the breath, feeling your back inflate. Use that space you're creating to help you soften a little more. We have a little under 1 minute left in this position. And slowly coming out of that position, unraveling legs, unraveling arms. Is it movement or stillness your body is looking for now? And so for this next shape, if you have a blanket or a bolster, it's going to come in handy. You can roll your blanket up. And we'll use that to lay over. If If you need a little extra something, you can always rest your head on a pillow. Just unravel your blanket if you don't have one and need a little less height. We're going to come into a reclined fish position. So whatever you've got there, your roll, you want to bring the narrow end towards the low back. And depending on how long it is, the closer your low back is to that end, the deeper the back bend will be. So if you want something a little more gentle, scoot your butt a little further away. You're going to lay over that. Your head might rest on it if it's long enough. If it's not, that's where your pillow is going to come in. And again, if you're not liking this stretch through the throat, shimmy down a little bit so that you're getting a bit of a headrest as well as your back and chest opening. You can have your feet on the ground and knees bent. You can have your legs long. You might even want to take your arms overhead. If they don't quite reach the ground, you can always put a block or a bolster or blankets underneath just to bring the ground a little higher. Feel your body softening onto that prop. Let your legs splay. Feel this sense of release. Relaxing the muscles around the eyes and in the forehead. Feel your cheeks slacken. Create some space between the top and bottom jaw. And allow the tongue to fall away from the roof of the mouth. Feel this sense of lengthening through the neck as the shoulders relax. The upper arms, the elbows, the forearms heavy, relaxed. The wrists, the fingers, the hands, all free from gripping or holding. The shoulders, the upper back supported as you release from the chest. The belly and the breath are soft. The hips supported by the ground beneath you. You can let the glutes relax. The front of the thighs, back of the thighs, relaxed. Knees soft. The calves, the ankles. Relaxing the feet and letting them splay. Let your whole body relax. And it's up to you here if you're enjoying this position. Stay here for your Shavasana. If there's a different position you'd like to take, or if you wish to come off this bolster or blanket, you can do so. See if you can connect to that softness again. Now slowly welcome back awareness. With a deeper breath, maybe there is movement. See if you can keep that soft, slow, yin-like energy. Taking care of any props you may have around you or underneath you. Gently roll yourself to one side. If you've got a bolster or a blanket, you can press it out and just take a pause on your side. Breathing into that space where the bolster was. Noticing how the upper back feels. Slowly beginning to blink open the eyes. Once you're ready, press yourself up. Come to find a comfortable seated position. Taking a breath in through the nose, feel for filling the lungs completely. Take another sip of air in, and then exhale. Again, inhaling, filling the lungs, sipping a little more, top up, and exhaling completely. One more time. Bring the hands together at heart center, offering this as a gesture of gratitude for yourself, your body, your practice, for everything you are capable of. Thank you for joining me for 45 minutes of chest and